What's up, everybody? How's it going? My name is Tyson, and today we're going to be diving into the world of custom domains inside of ClickFunnels 2.0. Specifically, we're going to be going over how to set up a custom domain, make sure it's set up correctly, and functional and ready to go inside of your account. Now, custom domains are going to be kind of the baseline for a lot of things you do inside the platform, such as setting up custom email addresses if you're sending out workflows with emails in them, or even broadcasts directly from the platform, either way, or even setting up your funnels, making sure that they are functioning correctly, or that when people search them up, they are coming up as your brand and leading directly to the place where you want them to go. Anyways, with that said, let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step process, make sure everything is up and running. Okay, I'll meet you inside of ClickFunnels 2.0. Alrighty, I'm currently on my dashboard inside of ClickFunnels 2.0, but from here, what we want to do is click on either sites or funnels within the left navigation. Click on that directly. In this case, I'm going to use sites, but again, either way, it basically leads us to the same location. If you click on funnels, you're going to end up right here instead, so not much further. But anyways, from here, what we want to do is click on domains directly, right below courses and right above URLs. Click on that and you'll have a few options here. On the right hand side, if you have nothing, you'll see that there's nothing here besides your ClickFunnels subdomain. That is the only thing that will actually show up, right? But you have the options as far as buying a domain or connecting an existing domain. Now, domains are not hosted directly inside of ClickFunnels. Really, they're forwarding you to a location where you can buy a domain, and then from there, it's pointing the either CNAME record and adding a few TXT records to make sure that we can use the domain inside of ClickFunnels. That's it. So we're not actually hosting anything inside of ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels 2.0 does not host domains directly at all, just to clarify. Okay, so again, you have the option to buy, and again, right now it's going through INS. If I'm saying that correctly, I feel like I'm never saying that correctly. But anyways, that's where it's going through as of right now. You can search up a domain and find it directly through the platform, or you can bring in a domain that you have already purchased elsewhere. And that's totally fine. Either way will be totally fine. Click on connect to existing domain if you have already purchased a domain. And now when it comes to adding a domain inside of ClickFunnels 2.0, they are using subdomains, not root domains in this case. Subdomain meaning the portion before the actual domain itself. The www, hello, funnels.yourdomain.com. Either way, whatever it is that you're using before, and just make sure that you understand that you're not setting up a root domain here. It's just a subdomain. So we'll go in, and in this case, maybe we'll use example.connectionallies.com. We'll go ahead and click on continue. All right, now from there, it's going to detect where we're actually hosting our domain. And that's kind of weird. It says Squarespace now. Forgot that they purchased Google domains. But anyways, we'll go ahead and add domain after that. All right, wherever it says your domain's from, totally fine. Just make sure to add domain. Make sure everything's spelled correctly if it's not actually coming up correctly with your domain registrar. But as long as everything's spelled correctly and you are typing it in correctly, you should be good to go. All right. Now from here, we'll be able to start either the automatic domain setup or the manual process. Totally up to you as far as which way you want to go here. If you want to start the automatic process, it's pretty dang quick. All you have to do is click on start domain setup, and it's going to show a little pop-up in the middle of the screen. Click on continue, and it's going to find your DNS provider, basically find everything about this actual domain, see where it's actually hosted right now, and then it's going to ask you to authorize and connect with that provider. Now in this case, I'm going to leave it as is, but you just continue with that, log into your account, and from there, there'll be a button to either authorize or deny or cancel. In this case, you'll just hit authorize for whatever provider that you are using, and it'll continue on with adding those records. Now, something to note about this is that if you are currently using a root domain elsewhere, or a www version elsewhere, or whatever domain that you added or subdomain that you added, make sure that you are not using it elsewhere. You can only use one subdomain per location, meaning you cannot have it pointing to two locations at the same time. Otherwise, you'll find that it'll end up breaking, something will not show correctly, and you'll just, trust me, you're going to have a bunch of headaches. Don't do it. Just use something you have not used before. Now, if you are using your root domain elsewhere, in this case, just Connection Allies for me, right? If I'm just using Connection Allies somewhere else, which I am, I would not want to set up a redirect. So I would turn off this guy right here. Make sure to toggle that off before you start this domain setup process. Okay, just so you know, don't proceed until you have that turned off, unless you are not using your root domains elsewhere, okay? Because that redirect will mess up where you are currently pointing to and how things are displaying for the original location, okay? Fair heads up. I've run into this myself. So just so you know, remember to turn it off. And I did it by accident on my side, but just remember to turn it off. And after that, you should be good to go. Okay. Now, if you are more of a hands-on person and you prefer doing things manually, I am right there with you. Now, I typically do this as well. Instead of doing the automatic process, I will usually 99% of the time go over here and manually add all the records. So just click right here where it says clicking here. And then at the bottom, you'll see an option show up for DNS records. Click on show DNS table and it'll give you a verifying record. All you have to do is essentially bring this guy over and post it or paste it inside of your DNS records. Okay. And it's just going to be a TXT record. And for the host name, you're going to be using the @ symbol. Depends on the platform. Sometimes they just let you leave it blank. I believe Google Domains is like that, but every platform is different regarding the actual DNS setup process. Now, once you have this set up, it's going to show 2 new records. So let me go ahead and get this set up and I'll meet you right back here. Okay, we went ahead and added that TXT record. Now, all we have to do is, once we've added that, go ahead and click on validate ownership. There we go. And after that, it's going to show us that the domain ownership has been verified. And you'll see this guy right here now. And it'll also say connecting on the left-hand side of the screen. Now, there's 2 other things we still have to do here. We have to go back and show DNS table again. And there's 2 other records we have to put in place. In this case, I already have one that's already existing. That's why it's showing like that. But we do have to go back and forth as far as adding that TXT record as well. This is vital to making sure that you can actually set up custom emails. It's basically your DKIM record or key. Okay, so make sure to set this up on your side. Now, the other one that's important here is going to be the CNAME record. This is going to be the only one that's different aside from these TXT records, right? Or as far as record type, CNAME record. This is going to make sure that you can actually use the subdomain that you're setting up. In this case, we used example, but whatever one you use, whether it's a www, funnel, shop, whatever it is that you're using, it will. You want to use that as the host name, and then you want to paste in the data as the actual value on the other side of that. But we want to make sure this is a CNAME. Now I'm going to go ahead and paste this in there so that way we can see what it looks like when it's complete. So give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Okay, I went ahead and added that real quick. Now all we have to do is either click on check connection or just refresh the page. It's usually pretty dang quick. Once you have all 3 green check marks, you're good to go. It's currently securing, and that can take up to another, technically it can take up to 24 hours to 48 hours, but it is pretty dang quick. I have walked out of here within 10 minutes and had everything done and ready to go. So that is that. That is what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and come back when it says that it is done, and I'll show you what that looks like as well. All right. With that said, I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. Just like that. Like I said, it doesn't take very long. If you took note of the time up here at the very top right in the corner, it was pretty dang quick. Now, inside of the domain, once everything's ready to go, you'll get this little smiley face saying everything looks good and healthy. If anything's wrong, it will change that status. But over here in the DNS table, we'll see that everything is green, ready to go. That is the main thing here. We want to make sure everything is healthy and ready to go. Now, that's also what this is indicating, but SSL has currently been set up and the domain is ready to rock. Now you can go ahead and set up your custom emails. You can go ahead and attach this to funnels or even your site, and you are just ready to go. All right, with that said, if you run into any issues, we have another video, or I have another video that you can find that will be in the description going over how to troubleshoot the domain setup process when it's not setting up for whatever reason. There are a couple things that we can test, and I did create a video on that. So make sure to touch base on that if you are running into any issues. All right, with that said, thanks everybody for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.